So things that social media normalizes that are not normal. I have stopped doing these things. If I ever did them in the past, I realized my mistakes, and I think what happened was I achieved a sense of enlightenment. Now, this video was inspired by Lucy Benson. She's one of my absolute favorite YouTubers to watch, and I was watching her YouTube series on this topic, and I was like clapping the entire time. I was like, yes, preach, girl, because some things have to be said. You know that funny saying, I don't know who needs to hear this, but da da da? Yeah, this is one of those videos, okay? I didn't necessarily do everything on this list, but I'm just saying it's okay if we have at some point in our social media journey done these things. The most important thing is not what was done, but it's what you do moving forward. I should write that down. Damn. Whoa, okay, thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Okay, I'm gonna stop rambling and we're gonna dive right into the video. Crying on social media. Let's take a step back and think about this for a while. Is it really normal or healthy to cry on social media? I know emotions are a natural part of being human. We laugh, we cry, we experience the whole spectrum of feelings. And in real life, we have our close friends, family, or maybe if we're lucky, a therapist to turn to when we need support. But when it comes to social media, it's a whole different ballgame. Social media has this way of making us feel like we have a community and we have a family. And it makes us feel like we need to share every single detail, and that includes our tears. Here's the problem with this. Whether it happens once or twice, randomly is one thing, but when it starts to pop up as a normal form of content and become a trend where people feel the need to broadcast their emotional breakdowns for the world to see, then I would argue that that's becoming problematic. Crying is a deeply personal and intimate experience, and it's something that should only be shared with those who truly care about you and can provide the support you need. It is not ethical, in my opinion, to cry because you're trying to promote your content or promote, whatever agenda that you have. And so when we cry on social media, it's like we're inviting hundreds and even thousands of strangers into our most vulnerable moments. And so let's be real, not all of them have our best interests at heart. I mean, you can have 1,000 followers or 1,000,000 followers. Not all your followers really care about you and what you're going through. Instead, let's focus on building genuine connections with the people in our lives that truly matter. Let's seek support from those who can provide it rather than relying on the validation of strangers on the internet. So the next thing is calling everyone endearment terms. Love, sweetheart, darling. Social media has a way of creating this delusional sense of connection with people you don't know. It is important to be aware that this can lead to a phenomenon called parasocial interaction. And this is what happens when people feel like they have a personal relationship with someone they don't know. Like, for example, if I follow Kim Kardashian on Instagram and I'm always liking and commenting on her posts, and I start to think I know her, I start to watch her shows, and I actually start to delude myself into thinking that I'm friends with Kim Kardashian. Or you may follow an influencer in your city and maybe you're talking to someone about something you saw them post, and then you say, hey, I saw one of my friends posted this, but like, that's not your friend. That's a random influencer you follow. You don't know them personally. It's important to be mindful of why are you doing it? Are you trying to connect with them on a personal level? Are you trying to be polite? And if you're not sure, it's probably best to err on the side of caution and avoid using these terms. You can say, oh, you look beautiful. Oh, you look good. I love your outfit. Like, there are a million other ways to compliment people without necessarily throwing out terms that you should otherwise be reserving for the important people in your lives. It's also important to remember that social media is not real life, okay? The people you interact with online may seem like your friends, you're always commenting commenting on each other's posts, you're always liking each other's stuff, but they're not really there for you in the way that your real life friends are. And so if you're feeling lonely or isolated, it's important to reach out to people you know and trust instead of unconsciously seeking validation on social media by throwing out terms to people you don't even know. Keeping up with the Joneses. Social media has made it more easier than ever to be in this mindset of constantly comparing yourself to others. Naturally, it's led to overconsumption. People buying things they don't need, people buying things they can't afford. And that's because we are constantly bombarded with images of other people's lives. And that makes us feel like we need to buy every new thing out there to keep up, to be cool. And what that leads to is debt, it leads to financial stress, and it even leads to mental health problems. Aside from all of those personal consequences, it's important to think about sustainability, think about the earth. The landfills are already overflowing with our excess consumption, and we need to find ways to live more sustainably. I think there are certain steps that we can take to combat overconsumption caused by social media. First, it's important to be aware of the problem, right? We need to stop buying things that we don't need. The second thing is to limit the time spent on social media. The less time you spend on social media comparing yourself to others, the less likely that you're gonna feel the need to buy something new and overconsume. It's okay to research stuff you need. It's okay to try to find something that works for your body, your skin type, buy clothes. There's nothing wrong with that. The problem happens when you start to feel like you're not enough and you're not worthy unless you have that Birkin bag or that Range Rover. That's what's problematic. Next, and this is my favorite one because I can't count how many times I've felt this way. And it is FOMO, the fear of missing out. Social media has become a window into the lives of others. When you're bored or when you're feeling lonely, you pick up your phone and you have access to entertainment, constant stream of updates, photos, videos, and oftentimes it's showcasing the glamorous aspect of people's lives. It almost feels like we're bombarded with this idea that everyone else is out there living their best lives and we're stuck at home missing out on all the fun. It's literally all in your head because a lot of the times these people out there living their best lives are on their phone documenting their best lives. And what does that say? It says you're just all on your phone. You're at home and they outside. Basically the same thing. Social media is a highlight reel. If you go on my Instagram, it's all, rainbows and butterflies, and it's important to understand it is not an accurate representation of reality. I might be so depressed, crying on my couch, and I whip my phone out and post a baddie photo. And you're scrolling on Instagram thinking like, oh my gosh, she's so hot. Oh my gosh, she's living her best life. Dude, no. It doesn't show the challenging parts of your lives. And so when you find yourself in that mindset of comparing your everyday life to the carefully curated images on your screen, of course FOMO is gonna creep in. And the problem with FOMO, fear of missing out, is that it can lead to stress, anxiety, and that constant feeling of dissatisfaction where you start to wonder and question your own life and think like, am I doing enough? And if you're missing out on something better, just that mindset, it is so incredibly draining and it is detrimental to your mental well-being and also to your potential, because instead of going after your dreams and working on your goals, you're sitting there comparing yourself and you're sitting there feeling depressed, and that is not healthy. And it is always healthy to take a social media break every now and then. I don't believe in annihilating yourself from social media because we need it to be informed and know what's going on in our circles in our city. But instead of feeling stuck in that fear of missing out mindset, embrace the joy of missing out. And I saw this term when I was researching this topic and I was like, wow, FOMO, JOMO. Yeah, the joy of missing out. And when you are joyfully missing out, it means you're living your own life authentically, on your own terms, going after your dreams, going after your goals, working on yourself, and not caring about what someone else is posting online or what someone else is doing, because you're doing your own thing. And that inherently makes you happy, it makes you healthy, and it takes you into the next level of your life, which is ultimately what you want, right? Growth. That's all for today, guys. I hope this video gave you some food for thought. I know it gave me a lot to think about when I was brainstorming and researching this topic. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to this channel for more discussions and topics that matter, like tech, social media, personal development, all that good stuff. And as always, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, take care of yourselves and remember to be mindful of what you share on social media. Just because everybody else is doing it doesn't mean it's normal, and it doesn't mean that you need to do it too. Okay? Bye!